Genetic brain disorders, also known as inherited brain diseases or neurogenetic disorders, are conditions caused by genetic mutations that affect the structure or function of the brain. These disorders can be inherited in various patterns, including autosomal dominant, autosomal recessive, and X-linked inheritance. They often result in hereditary neurological conditions that can significantly impact an individual's quality of life. In this guide, we will explore the different types of genetic brain disorders and the importance of genetic counseling and testing in their diagnosis and management. Autosomal dominant disorders. Autosomal dominant disorders are genetic conditions in which a single copy of an abnormal gene is sufficient to cause the disease. One example of an autosomal dominant genetic brain disorder is Huntington's disease. It is characterized by progressive degeneration of nerve cells in the brain, leading to motor, cognitive, and psychiatric symptoms. Although the symptoms usually appear in adulthood, there is a 50% chance of inheriting the mutated gene from an affected parent. Genetic counseling and testing play a crucial role in autosomal dominant disorders. Through genetic testing, individuals at risk can determine whether they carry the abnormal gene and make informed decisions about family planning and management strategies. Autosomal recessive disorders. Autosomal recessive disorders require both copies of a gene to be abnormal for the disease to manifest. Examples of autosomal recessive genetic brain disorders include neurofibromatosis and certain types of amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS. Neurofibromatosis is a group of genetic disorders that cause tumors to form on nerve tissue. ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, is a progressive neurodegenerative disease that affects nerve cells controlling muscle movement. Genetic counseling and testing are essential in autosomal recessive disorders to assess the risk of passing on the mutated genes to offspring, and provide support and guidance to affected individuals and their families. X-linked disorders. X-linked disorders are genetic conditions caused by mutations in genes on the X chromosome. As the X chromosome is one of the sex chromosomes, X-linked disorders primarily affect males. One example of an X-linked genetic brain disorder is Fragile X syndrome, a condition characterized by intellectual disabilities and behavioral challenges. Genetic counseling and testing are valuable tools in X-linked disorders to determine carrier status, assess the risk of passing on the mutated gene, and provide appropriate management strategies and support to affected individuals and families. Importance of genetic counseling. Genetic counseling is a process that helps individuals and families understand the genetic basis of their condition, assess the risk of passing on the mutated genes, and make informed decisions about family planning and management strategies. Genetic counselors are healthcare professionals trained in medical genetics and counseling techniques, and they play a vital role in supporting individuals with genetic brain disorders and their families. Genetic testing. Genetic testing involves analyzing an individual's DNA to identify genetic mutations associated with specific disorders. It can help confirm a diagnosis, assess the risk of passing on the mutated genes, and guide personalized treatment and management plans. Genetic testing for inherited brain diseases is typically performed by taking a blood sample or collecting a cheek swab for DNA analysis. Neurodegenerative diseases. Neurodegenerative diseases are a group of disorders characterized by progressive degeneration of the nervous system, including the brain. Some genetic brain disorders, such as Huntington's disease and certain types of Alzheimer's disease, fall under the category of neurodegenerative diseases. These conditions result in the gradual loss of nerve cells and often lead to severe cognitive and motor impairments. The impact of genetic brain disorders. Genetic brain disorders can have a profound impact on individuals and their families. The symptoms and severity of these conditions can vary widely, ranging from mild cognitive impairments to severe disabilities. The emotional, financial, and social burdens associated with managing these disorders can be significant. Support and management strategies. Managing genetic brain disorders requires a comprehensive approach that addresses the physical, emotional, and social aspects of the condition. Supportive care, including physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy, can help individuals maximize their functional abilities and improve their quality of life. Additionally, support groups and counseling services are available to provide emotional support and guidance to affected individuals and their families. Conclusion. Genetic brain disorders are complex conditions that result from genetic mutations affecting the structure or function of the brain. Understanding the different patterns of inheritance and the role of genetic counseling and testing is crucial in the diagnosis and management and support of individuals and families affected by these disorders. Advances in genetic research and personalized medicine offer hope for improved diagnosis, treatment, and ultimately, prevention of genetic brain disorders in the future.